What's up, fellow Minecraft enthusiasts? Today we're going to be discussing the Copper Golem and some of the interesting things you can do with it. So if you're interested in checking this out, stick around and we're going to go over these things one by one. One of the new features that's coming to Minecraft is the Copper Golem, and the Copper Golem is able to sort items out of a special copper chest and put those in a regular chest. And to make a Copper Golem, you just need a copper block and then a carved pumpkin, and then he spawns. And anything you put in here, he will sort out into a different chest. For example, if I put a stack of 6, he'll grab 16 of those and he'll bring them to a different chest and sort them. We can use this to do some other things, and so let's look into that. All right, one of the first things that you can do with the Copper Golem is to use him as a component in a redstone clock. And to do that, you're going to go ahead and make your Copper Golem with a block of copper and a carved pumpkin. And then on the side of it, you can actually build a hopper like so, put another one, and then place a chest on top. And he'll be able to get to that. And what you can do is just add a stack of something. He'll grab it, and then he's going to run up there. He'll even stand on his chest. Or we can even place a block to access it like so. And see, he's going to open it and just going to start dropping items. And we can use this comparator. Push him out of the way. We'll find a different way. And see, notice we're already getting a pulse off of this hopper. So then we can just build one off of it. Put a repeater. And then you guys can already see the redstone clock is working. And then we can go ahead and add this in like that. And then we can just place a piston or whatever it is for your... You would need a redstone clock. Just like that. And he's going to keep this chest full. He's just going to pick up 16 sticks, put them in the chest here, and then it's just going to come back and cycle through. So this makes it for a really interesting redstone contraptions. Now, to make a shutoff for this, we can come off to the side over here. We're going to go ahead and use our solid blocks. And we're going to go ahead and place it here. Like this. We're going to go ahead and inside here, we're going to place a redstone repeater going into this comparator. And then we can just place a... And that'll shut off the redstone contraption or whatever it is for the clock. So... That's actually a pretty cool feature that works really well, and it's an autopilot redstone clock, just infinite looping. Pretty cool feature and really helpful for like a small compact build, because the footprint of the actual clock is only a few blocks wide to create this clock that will just continually loop. Pretty cool. All right, one other really cool thing that you can do with him is use his pathing to your advantage. Make some really cool effects for building different builds. So what you can do is I'm just going to demonstrate it by coming up like, I don't know, 5 blocks. It's just to demonstrate. You can come out a bunch of blocks like so. And then free in from the build, I'm going to start laying pressure plates down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It really doesn't matter for the demonstration purposes, but we can use this to our advantage because we can get him to path a certain way and activate pressure plates. And then we can just lay redstone lamps down like so. We can just do this, and we can create some really fancy redstone signals to do some fancy lighting, like light boards, arrow boards, stuff like that. But for now, this purpose is good enough. So then we can come down here. So, and on the other end, we'll also come out by 3. And we're just giving him a pathway to walk where it won't trigger this. And then we're going to come up here. Should be good enough. And then what I like to do with him so far, I've noticed that they will climb up a wall that's at least too high. So what I do is I just go ahead and I build up these as I've been playing around with it to see what we can do or what features are kind of neat with it. So I just build up a too high walkway for him, because if not, if it's one high, he'll walk up because it's going to choose the quickest path to the chest based on where he's at. So if he's some reason over here and recalculates it, he'll jump up on the wall and won't trigger the pressure plate. So if you create too high, he can't path to it using the wall. So now then on this side here, we can go ahead and we're going to lay a temporary block, a chest, put this down, and then we're going to go ahead and build up around this too, because he will find a way. It's like that line in Jurassic Park. Life finds a way. You just here. It's like so. It should be good enough. All right. So then what we can do is on the outside, we create a feedback with this hopper. So we can just feed back into it. You can come back into it any way you want to. So I'm just going to choose here. Just a temporary hopper. Another hopper going into it. We can break these middle blocks just to reduce space. And then you can come in this hopper, make a hopper chain running back. And believe it or not, the hopper chain is almost as fast as he walks. It's not by much. Enough that we can have a non-stop chain of items running through. So there we go. And then there's this. We can break this block. And then we're going to, in that hopper, go ahead and lay our copper golem down here, like so. And we're going to go ahead and place our sticks. And then again, he will try to path. So see, he just tried pathing right there. You guys see that? He saw a quicker path to the chest that way. So there we go. So we can have an interesting outside pattern for our buildings. Top of one. Kind of a neat little pathing back and forth. Pretty cool. There's all sorts of different things that you might be able to do with this. I do have one more thing that activating pistons and stuff, which is really neat. So that's going to be what we discuss next. So go ahead and load that up and we'll do it. One of the other really cool things knowing this feature here and activating pressure plates based on pathing is making some interesting stuff using sticky pistons and maybe making like a lava pit or something like that. To do that, you can just come up, 4 blocks or so. We're going to just do a demonstration for it. Decide how you want to incorporate it into a build. Maybe you have it as a timed pit that opens and closes, so you have to time your running into your base. Or maybe using it for timing for a mob pit, a mob grinder, or something like that. So I always come in 3 from this. That's just my thinking on this. And you can just activate the pressure plate somewhere in the middle of this path. We're going to go with a shorter path here this time, because it'll be a little quicker to demonstrate. Then you can just come up here, this. You're going to break this block here. Just use that as a temporary block, and go like so. And that way, when you put your sticky piston down, for example, he steps on it, he's going to activate it that way. The reason why is we want to create another circuit on the other side of this. So what we're going to do with that is use a slime block on this sticky piston. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to come out one more on this side. And that'll look okay. And then we can just go ahead and place whatever building block you're going to use wood or whatever. I'm just going to use this for this purpose of showing it. And then we're going to need to demonstrate or calculate how far out this is kicking out. So when it activates, it comes out this far. And then we're going to want the other one to be this far. So with that said, it's going to be actually here. slime block, build a temporary block like that. So this way we know, for example, that this kicks out here and this one's going to kick out here. So this is correct. So we're off by a little bit, but it won't really matter because we're just trying to get a redstone signal over here to this one. So the furthest back on it is actually better to reach over here. It's less redstone to need to do this. And so then we just go ahead and we just add the same 4. So, and we get a redstone signal up to this. Like so. Might need a repeater in the middle, so I'm just going to go ahead and put one in. I don't know if that's 15 or not. Do the counting. We're just going to go ahead and add the repeater just to make the signal strong going into this. So now if I step on this pressure plate, it's going to open and then close. And there we go. And so the only thing left to do is then create his pathing. So we can go like this. Same thing we did on the other one. Give it 3 to walk with. Actually, we're going to go ahead and send this out just a little bit. There we go. All right, so that takes care of that. And now we just got to create the chests and the feedback system for the items to get back so that it creates a continual loop. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to come out the back end of this a little bit. So that's actually far enough, I believe. And then we're just going to go ahead and build up 3 high, because once the chest is built, he'll want to climb on the wall. It's just wacky how he does that. One thing I don't like about the Copper Golem is the pathing can be kind of interesting and honestly a bit annoying. So there we go. We'll break this one here, and we're just going to go ahead and do this for now. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to lay down the hoppers for this. We won't need a sticky piston anymore. We have our hopper going in here. Lay a temporary hopper, a hopper there. This is where the Copper Golem's chest is going to be. Then when he paths, he'll activate that pressure plate, which will then trigger system. We'll put it about halfway for his walk so that it is pretty calculated as far as his pathway. There we go. And then we can just lay down a chest here. And we won't need any more redstone repeaters or anything. It's just more like building, making whatever aesthetic you're going for will work really nicely. We just, there we go, like so. And then we're just going to do the same thing on this. We don't have to all come all the way out this far. I just choose to do that. Inside here, we can go ahead and create our Copper Golem. Go ahead and, oh, actually, let me get some sticks. I like using the sticks just because they're simple to craft and you get a stack of them to create these loops with minimal effort needed. You can use cobblestone or whatever else you have handy that's fairly common. Dirt, anything that just stacks, because they'll take 16 of it at a shot. So there'll always be at least 48 in the chest, and as it constantly is rotating around, they'll never run out. So you're never going to run a period where they're just standing around waiting, stuff like that. So let me go ahead and do this stuff to create him, and then we're going to finish out with a little bit of extra builds, some stuff that people probably already know regarding slime blocks, but we're going to go ahead and go over that real fast here. So I'm going to go ahead and place this here, place our carved pumpkin, and then we can go ahead and place our sticks. As an alternate thing with these guys, they do corrode, so they'll turn green. You can add a honeycomb to them to give them a like a waxed look, so that they won't corrode. Whoa, what's going on there? That's not cool. So yeah, let's go over that since that brings up an important point. Items sticking to the There we go. Non-movable objects, using that as our part of our build. So come out like this so that, you know, your items aren't going to stick. A little bit further. And this is just for demonstration, just so people can get to whatever they're trying to do. And then you can add cobwebs on top, because cobwebs are also don't stick. And you can add that on top of here too. That will work. There we go. There's that. Okay, so then what you can do with this build, and it's kind of interesting, is you can come down here with it, and game's freezing kind of funky. That's because I'm in the experimental mode. You come in, connect these two like this, build up a wall. So build this up however you would want to. Make it look all nice, neat, whatever aesthetic you're going for, whatever solid blocks you're looking for. Cover this up if you wanted to. I would, just so people wouldn't know. They might hear them. But you just come across the back here. But it makes for an interesting timed open and close for a door. So it's really helpful. Across this like so. And then this is just more like building. Then right below it, where it comes down, you can actually... This is the neat part about it. You're trying to build like this neat, like don't come into my base, open close thing, timed. You could do this longer with a longer pathing and use 2 pressure plates that are further apart. This is going to work or not. I think that works. Okay. Some obsidian. You can use obsidian. Cobwebs work really well too for this, especially since we're getting into the October month, so we get a lot of Halloween style looks. So there we go. Probably okay. That works just fine. Oh, I'm breaking it somehow. I don't remember how I'm doing this. Something's breaking. See how this works. Something's not coming out okay. I don't know what it is, but I built this earlier and I don't remember how I did it. But anyways, we can continue on with this. We're going to go ahead and build our little pit. You guys can kind of get the gist of what's going on here with this. And there we go. Just fill this in. You can make like a little... Oh, that takes care of that. It should open and close. Oh, that's a little lonesome. Should work. For some reason, not. Oh, that's because those are attached to it. That's why. There we go. That was it. Oh, it's been a while since I've really messed with any of this kind of stuff, so. Put some obsidian across it, like so. There we go. That's it. Yeah, you can use this for like a monster farm, something like that. Being able to place lava buckets down. For example, do oh no, we're on fire. Get back. All right, there we go. And then we can just top it off with like some cobwebs or something like that. Just give it that extra, what I like to call the screw you vibe. Get out of here before it squishes me. Yeah, you can adjust the timing of this. You can make it bigger, however long it is, but you guys can kind of see what we're going for on this one. So that's essentially the build right there. Using that pathing in a creative way to trigger redstone. And so making it so that somebody wouldn't be able to jump this. So they're going to have to wait for that timing. So that's pretty cool. So too bad I'm in creative mode and flying, so do a little bit of parkour tricks, stuff like that. See, like that. That would have been bad. Now we're stuck. Can't get out. So that's pretty cool. So all right, so that ends that. So that's the last thing I have to show currently with this. And so we have, to round it all out, we have a redstone clock component that makes it a little smaller and stable, nice stable clock. You have a aesthetic like this here, which is really neat. Looks really cool. Maybe even time set, say midnight. That might look really cool at nighttime. Let me see. Yeah, it is pretty cool. All right. So anyway, so those are some different settings that you can do, or different things you can do with the Iron Golem other than use him for his item sorting purposes. I'm sure there will be some more from other content creators as time goes on. Maybe I'll find a few that are also helpful. But these are what we have for now, and I thank you guys again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll talk to you on the next video. Bye-bye.